meant for the young of Bunnisport to learn to navigate the dark, to wake themselves to a broader mode of seeing. Only the pulpit and the intricate wood carvings on the walls are well lit. The carvings depict small boats on storm-tossed seas and spindly shapes beneath the water, moving up toward them. They depict figures that might be men, entangled with figures that definitely aren't, in what might be combat or coitus. The carvings have been here even longer than Mr. Peak, but despite their decades on dry land, they still smell of driftwood. Finally, Crot arrives at the door in the floor. He's been down the staircase dozens of times, but it still gives him the creeps. It seems to go on forever, winding down into the dark before depositing him in a vast underground cavern that dwarfs the building above. Half the space is taken up by a stone floor, lined with torches. A large pool of water dominates the other half. A small island stands in the middle, little more than a mound of sandy earth above the surface. A rope bridge extends from the stone floor to the island, where 3 tall wooden posts have been driven into the ground. The posts are old, the wood splintered and dark. Once all the kids have filed into the chamber, Mr. Peak walks to the head of the bridge, raises his hood, and holds his arms aloft. "From the beginning," he says. "Until the world's ending," the kids chant back. Mr. Peak lifts his copy of the verses and holds it open before him. He doesn't look down at it as he speaks. It's a prop, for show. The old man knows his bit by heart. "The first among us, Nathaniel Bunnisport, traveled the world and made his fortune. His skill and lust for life drew the attention of Leviathan. Leviathan wrecked Bunnisport's ship in a faraway land, and there he offered Bunnisport a new life. Life unending," the kids chant back. "But such a life came with a cost," Mr. Peak says. The crowd parts as 6 figures issue forth from the staircase behind them, 3 in robes and 3 in everyday clothes. The latter 3 are all women in professional work attire. Their hands are bound behind their backs, and they wear bags over their heads. Crot doesn't need to see their faces to recognize them. The first is Ms. Adams, his math teacher at Bunnisport High School. The second is Ms. Daniels, his English teacher. The third is Hattie Dunna, who started teaching geography at the high school this year. All 3 women walk as if dazed, and their handlers have to assist them across the rope bridge onto the island. Crot feels sick to his stomach as the women are tied to the posts with their arms above their heads. Their handlers pull the bags from their heads. All 3 are gagged. Once the prisoners are unmasked, 2 of the handlers return to the crowd across the cavern to stand alongside Mr. Peak. One stays behind to pull a packet of smelling salts from the folds of their robe. The figure stops before each of the 3 women in turn, holding the salts beneath their noses. Each jerks awake, recoiling from the smell. The handler steps away and repockets the salts. The women moan and groan awake, the sounds muffled by the gags. Ms. Adams tries to speak, her tone sleepy but unworried. As she becomes aware of her surroundings, her sounds turn louder, more insistent. She's not a nice person. Crot has overheard her talking to Hattie, asking, "Why are all the students at the school wide-eyed and gape-mouthed, like fish on dry land?" Crot still can't make himself enjoy the sounds of her panic. Ms. Daniels seems more spacey than panicked. She might be concussed. She's unusually nice for an out-of-towner. She writes funny notes on Crot's English papers and always gives him good books to read. She let him keep a copy of Boy's Life that he borrowed from her classroom library. Hattie doesn't look frightened or spacey. She looks tense. Crot wishes she would look his way. They grew up in the group home together. She used to sing him lullabies and tell him stories after Mr. Peak's beatings, or when Crot couldn't sleep. "A price," Mr. Peak repeats, resuming his oration. "A pittance paid to Leviathan of the abyss." The other robed figures begin to chant, their words rough and guttural. They sound inhuman, beastly. Some of the older kids